Hello guys, this is Terry from Genki Gaming TV coming at you with a Yokai Watch ShadowSide episode review. Today's episode, which is episode 41, is The Alluring Bunny Trap, or Miwaku no Bunny Todapu. And I will start off by saying this wasn't one of my favorite episodes, but I want to clarify that this episode was pretty cute, and it was spot on with what the scope of the episode was supposed to take care of. I mean, this wasn't a plot episode, but this does cover something that's pretty important in a general sense, and let's dive into the episode at hand. And it basically starts off with Keisuke and Tank and Koji at their school, and they're taking care of cute little bunny rabbits and feeding them, basically treating them as if they're their own pet. It does seem like this is more of a school project though, and throughout the beginning portions of this episode, we've seen a pitch black rabbit with white markings on its ear, and we saw that during like the opening section and it scaring a little girl. And once Keisuke is back at our detective agency explaining to everyone about how cute the bunny rabbits are and about how he's enjoying helping Koji and Tank take care of them, Michi decides that he wants to be a bunny, so I guess we got Usagi Michi as another variant, like Michi Silva, and Hyper Michi, and Normal Michi. We might as well start calling this Michi Watch. I kid. But upon the discussion about rabbits, Akinori points out that there was something on Uso Land, which is the forum website, about bunny rabbits scaring people, and how it started off as a normal rabbit and then it either grew big or it changed and it scared the people exposed to it. We also get a really nice scene and proof that Toma is actually viable not only as a fighter but as an artist. Ogu, Togu, and Mogu did not know what a rabbit looked like, and Toma was able to fully illustrate a rabbit, which was incredible. And Junior, or G-Tan, loves rabbits as well. So, as this episode transitions on, our main cast goes about checking in with the people who have kind of survived the attacks made by the weird-looking rabbits, or the frightening rabbits. And the one little girl that Natsume and Toma interviewed or talked to said she dropped her choco bar while running. And while the interviews are basically going on, at the same time, Keisuke is back with Koji and Tank, and they decide they need to pick up some rabbit food because their teacher said that it seemed, I believe he said it seemed like the food was getting low, or that the food was no longer good. So they decided it was best to get new food, and they passed a closed down pet store that specialized in rabbits, and they had to get new food for their school project or school pets. So as this is all essentially going on, we transition back to Natsume and Toma basically checking out the area that the little girl said that she was scared from. They found the choco bar. It was ripped open, but there were no bites taken. It was almost as if someone ripped open the candy bar and left it on the ground, which was suspicious. And Toma actually emoted suspicion correctly, so Toma gets a cookie. And we transition back to Keisuke, Tank, and Koji. They see the black rabbit. Tank and Koji want to go after it and catch it. But our boy, Keisuke, tries to stop them, and the rabbit escapes, but he's still dragged along with Tank and Koji to go find the rabbit. And they look up, they see rabbits hanging from the ceiling, and the rabbits attack to get them to drop the rabbit food, or the Usagi Esa, or rabbit feed, or yeah, rabbit feed is what it would translate to. And Keisuke's knees are all scuffed up and hurt because of having to run from the killer bunnies, or the bunny to the boo, which I think is hilarious. And there was even a scene of everyone laughing at the name Akinori came up with. So we transition back to our clubhouse, and we get a cameo by Orochi, which is rather nice. I'm happy they brought him back into relevance. And he was saying that he's not heard of rabbits attacking, but the convenient plot device Monkey, or Salu, mentions that there has been something going on with rabbits. And upon this happening, they basically decide to check out that pet store that Keisuke mentioned, and they all kind of gathered together to do that. So we actually have the full team, and they enter the pet store, and they're noticing that there's nothing there, that it must have been foreclosed upon, or something must have happened. And then the black rabbit with the white little notches on its ears basically warps them into another reality, into its world. And this causes our crew to actually kind of separate. You have Akinori and Whisper together, you have Junior and Michi together, and then you have Natsume, Keisuke, and Ayame and Toma together. Because obviously that combination is the best combination for survival. So as we transition on, we transition directly to Akinori and Whisper. And Akinori, of course, sees a Usagi trap, or a bunny trap of Hime. And he has to go after her because Pion, Pion, the rabbit noise kind of caused him to go into Ayame hype mode. That's what I'm calling it. Hashtag Ayame hype. And he ran after the fake Ayame, who was the bunny. And all of a sudden you hear him scream. And then we transition to Michi and to G10, or Junior. And they both have a similar situation that occurs. Both of them kind of get distracted by their own particular type of bait. For our boy Michi, it's a picture of Natsume, because why wouldn't it be a picture of Natsume? Why can't we get Bunny Natsume? Hashtag Bunny Natsume, which is what we deserved and needed, but didn't get. But that's besides the point. And for Junior, it was the grandma from the one confectionery shop, or candy shop. So with everyone distracted by their own little desire, or at least those guys, we transition back to our main group, and they hear the screams of both Michi and Junior, and they start to get a wee bit worried. And then the rabbit shows up in front of them, and they basically transition to a different area, and that area basically being a meadow. And in that meadow there's a white rabbit inside of a trap, and Hime runs right at it trying to free it, and then she is captured by tiny little rabbits, because why wouldn't she be? At the end of the day, this episode was just meant to show us that everyone is a damsel in distress, kind of. But what ends up happening is we get another slight scene transition to another parallel universe within the same universe. And what happens there is we have a small showdown between the yokai in the situation, which is Usakichi and Goemon. They kind of clash a little bit, or Goemon tries to, but the bunny power overthrew Goemon's ability to be good at fighting. So that causes Natsume to summon a yokai I've not seen as of yet. I want to say it's like I had his name written down, Yamato no Orochi, because it looks similar to the arc of him, of Yamata. But I'm not 100% sure, and I thought that she said something similar to it, but the video had a slight little hiccup in it, so I wasn't 100% sure. But basically this yokai shows up and is able to counter Usakichi and put him in its place. We get the most sad, tragic backstory about the shop owner who went hiking, who ended up falling off of a cliff, but a brown rabbit threw him a vine. He was able to be free. Because of said brown rabbit, he opened a pet shop that specialized in rabbits. But one day, the black bunny with the white notch on his ears escaped, and the owner went after it, and the owner was hit by a car, saving it, and sad situation. So in order to survive, this yokai has been helping the normal bunnies get food by attacking different people who have different sources of food. Not out of malice, but out of pure survival tenses. Because he just wants to be able to take care of his brethren. So what ends up occurring is that Keisuke ends up helping out Kichi by talking to his teacher, who is in charge of the rabbit pet project. That's what I'm calling it. And he basically said it was okay as long as they tried to get homes for all of these stray rabbits, that they could house them and he would help them. So they ended up working together in order to do that. We have a montage of them basically working together to get all of the Usagi or rabbits new homes, which I think is wonderful. And then we transition back to the clubhouse, and Michi is yet again a bunny. And Jitan is mortified by the fact that his friend has become a bunny, but not really a bunny. In this episode, what I feel like the important part is to note is that your pets know. Your pets care. Because I know with the pets that I've had in the past, growing up I had a golden retriever who who knew every day whenever I got home from school, he knew the exact time. At least whenever I was at my dad's and would be ready to go out for a walk or be ready to play. And I know from my cat now, whenever I come in, she's waiting for me. And that pets care, and pets can become yokai. Kind of. But you guys are getting the point I'm trying to make. That the significance that this pet store owner had on the rabbit's life, and the fact that whenever you have someone significant and then they pass, it kind of transitioned you. And I think Pokemon also does this well in a couple episodes of discussing death and the whole scheme of when a trainer dies and what happens to a Pokemon. All in all, this episode was okay. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst, but it does really deliver the story of when you lose someone, or when a pet loses its human, kind of. Even though it was the pet store owner dying to protect the rabbit, you still get the point. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, and or evening. Yet again, I'm sorry for this being late. And I hope your week goes really well and that everything you desire comes to be true. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.